all right? Here's the point. Journalists should not be in the business of taking positions, okay? They shouldn't be, but if you want to do full transparency, do full transparency. Okay, fine. And now, after I give this answer, people will say, you'll never be fair to Ukraine again. No, I don't think they should give them the money. Why? No, don't clap. Don't clap. Don't clap. Don't clap. Don't clap.
We're clapping because you gave us the yes or no.
But here's the thing. You shouldn't want journalists to say, hey, where are you on this issue? I'm telling you.
No, you should. I actually disagree with this. I'm radically transformed on this. I am tired of people pretending that they don't have biases, okay? I actually want to know what you think and what you believe, because trying to sell it to me as a neutral narrative, like, I am very honest about my biases up front. I will tell people what I think. And that makes it much more honest for us to assess why it is you are telling us something in a certain way. It's the pretend, we're not biased at CNN.
But it's slippery, because then people start trying to persuade you of their position.
It's not persuading. This is what I think, and let me tell you this is the reason why I think it.
Okay.
Now you can go and listen to what he thinks and why he thinks it, and you can compare.
Fine. I don't agree, but I'll play it your way.
The journalists are not neutral.
No human being is neutral, meaning objective, meaning 50-50 on anything. Everybody's got feelings. It's about fairness. The standard is always fairness.
Fairness is allowing people to hear 100%. All the perspectives. That's it.
100%. 100%. But I think that there's a slippery slope when your journalists get into telling you why they think what they think. I think it should be about the audience and the players and not them as much. But fine. Why do I say no? Not for your reasons. I say no because I believe we do not have the transparency, and we do not have the efficiency in government of telling you why they're doing what they're doing and why it makes sense.
Can I simplify? This is my reason why.
I said no.
Okay.
That's pretty simple.
But
the why matters.
Your reasoning was, so number one is, I want to know where the money is going and how it's going to be spent.
Yes.
I want to know that as a capitalist 100%, but there's a reason for me above that. And it's actually a very simple reason, okay? Mm-hmm. Here's what it is. Say I'm your neighbor. And literally, where you live, I live right next to you. So I'm a neighbor, okay? And I live in your community, okay? And I come to you and I say, hey, Chris, man, I'm getting robbed. This is the third time they stole the bikes from the kids. And I need $150,000 to build this fence. So that stops happening. I need another $50,000 to build this camera. Brother, you know, if you can give me that $200,000, that'd be fantastic. Now, your wife is coming to you and saying, babe, we don't have a fence here. And not only did they take the 4 bikes that we have, they took the 3 fishing rods and they broke into the 2 cars and they stole the system out of the 2 cars. We have to build a fence here.
They took the fishing rods?
They did.
Kill all of them.
That's it, right? That's what we got to do.
Right.
So that's how we have to paint the picture.
There we go.
But hear me out. Let me explain this to you. So imagine, like, your wife is saying this to you, okay? And says, babe, we need to spend $300,000 to build this wall and put up some cameras because this cannot happen. And we need to go and tell the community, put a security there so they watch this. We need to spend this money. And you say, no. We have to take care of the neighbor's border first.
Oh, it gets better. Then you turn to your wife and you say, you're a racist, you're a sexist,
because
you're a homophobe. Why do you want to take care of your children?
See, that's the part for me where, you know, as much as we talk analysis, for me it's, hey, how much money do you want for Ukraine? $60 billion. No problem. The day you guys build the wall, let's have the conversation. Go ahead and do it. You want to do this? Go ahead, let's do it. $20 billion, put the account, here's where it's going to go. Great. Hey, you want $60 billion? No problem. The day you're finally doing your accounting and you're showing us exactly how the money's been, the day you want it, then you do it. And by the way, this works in companies. Guy comes up to me yesterday. I don't even know if he's in the room or not. He knows who he is. He's probably watching this from wherever he's at. He says, well, I think I can do this, that. I said, really? Yeah. I said, fantastic. I'm glad you believe that. This is great. But tell me what's the biggest victory you've had since you've been here? I said, what are you talking about? I did this, I did that. I said, no. That's part of your job description, why we pay you to do that. That's not above and beyond. That's your job description. You're supposed to do that. I said, tell me something you've done that you've gone above and beyond where everybody's going to say that's a victory. He says, well, I don't know. I said, no, it's called you don't have any. I said, why don't you go do that, and I'm going to greenlit the budget for you, and we can do X, Y, Z. You'll do that? Yes. Okay, go. Go show me some results. We're going like this. I need some money. Let me look at your resume. You've been fired 92 times. For sure, here's money for you, you know? Let me see your resume. Well, we already spent and wasted $2.2 trillion. What a great job wasting money. Here's another $60 billion for you. Just, to me, in no way does that make any sense. And nothing about what I said seems like I need analysis. And it's just logic. This doesn't make sense. The answer is no. Fix the border, fix America, fix our issues, then let's go fix Ukraine. Till then, Ukraine is not in my top 50 list of priorities in my life as an American. That's me. Ready? That's me. That's how I process. 16 out of 50 states in America do not require an ID to vote. Those 16 out of 50 states, Rob, if you can pull this up, those 16 out of 50 states have 212 of the electoral votes out of the 538. Let me say it again. The 16 out of 50 states, you have no need to go like this and walk in when you're voting to say, hey, can you please pull out your ID and do one of these things? Nope, you don't have to do it. They're not asking for your ID. They could care less about your ID. 212. Now watch this. 11 out of 50 states don't require a photo ID. You can just give an ID, but no photo. Did you guys understand me so far? Those 11 out of 50 states that don't require a photo ID to vote have 69 electoral votes out of the 538. 69 plus 212, it's a sweep forever for the left. Just so you know this. This is not me telling you this. This is the government telling you this, what our guidelines are by states today. And the rest, 23 out of 50 states, only 23, less than 50% of our states actually require to go like this. How pathetic is that, Chris, to have something like that? You don't have to be a left, right, or a center person to say that doesn't make sense. What are your thoughts on this, the way we're voting today?
There's a lot that goes to it. You know, you have half the representation of the U.S. government represents 1/3 of the population. Why? Because of how we do it with the Senate and redistricting rules and stuff like that. So there's a fundamental imbalance. Voter ID. Here are the two arguments, and you can assess them how you want. Is it that, I forget how it was explained earlier, but I don't know that it's that the government, whatever that means, if you want to ascribe it all to one groupthink, doesn't trust blacks or think minorities are capable of or whatever. But the argument is that culturally, socioeconomically, as you go down in terms of the poverty level, as poverty becomes more important, there's less connection with government. There's less percentage of people who want to interface with government and who have identification. So the argument is, if you say you need an ID to vote, you will have an unfair bias against those strata of society that don't tend to get IDs and don't want to deal with government.
Okay, but I just have to...
I'm just saying that is the argument.
No, it's not an argument, it's a lie, okay? Because
but
it's
that
not
is
about,
the argument.
you don't get an ID because you want to engage with government. You get an ID because you want to drive. You get an ID because you're 19
right.
and you're 21 and you want to have your first drink. You get an ID because you quite literally need an ID to do so many things in
That's
society.
true.
So forget, you wouldn't say that people that are in a lower socioeconomic class are never drinking, are never driving, are never doing all of the other things that are required, never seeing a movie, like, you know, that's above PG-16. You need an ID to do so much in life. So you're focusing, this is the lie. You're saying, well, they don't tend to vote. That might be true. That might definitely be true.
No, they don't tend to have IDs. That's not why they're getting an ID. That's not why they're getting an ID. So I understand.
They're just lying.
I understand. I don't think it's a lie. It could be wrong. It could be a false assumption.
If it's wrong, then it's a lie. If you keep saying it, if it's wrong and you keep saying it, it becomes a
yes
lie,
or no?
right? Ready?
No,
that again?
Yes.
Should Americans be required to have ID to vote? Chris, yes or no?
No. And I'll tell you why.
Wow.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Until I see fraud rates that go along with the distinction, I don't believe that you make a simple pitch. Then my answer is no. And my answer is no because I don't believe that I don't believe you want the government having even more control over who can vote and who can't.
Okay, so okay. That's fine. I'm glad you're being honest. I just want to say, if you are a black or Hispanic American, please find me the black or Hispanic American who does not work, because you need an ID to get a W-T form, get set up, they ask you for your ID, who does not vote, who does not drink, who does not drive or drive somebody else's car. This person does not exist. It does not travel. You can't get on a plane without it. This person does not exist, okay? So it is the lie that they tell so that they can rig our elections by having a bunch of people who are not Americans coming in and voting. And
Where's the proof that happens?
Everybody knows that, okay?
How can you know what we've never been shown? Where is the fraud? Where are the fake
votes?
votes?
The idea that any person will get up and say to you that they do not believe that you should have an ID to vote. I'm not even gonna characterize what you just said.
But you backed it up by saying that we know that all these people vote who aren't supposed to. Where's the proof of that?
We understand the voting rolls. There's dead people on the voting rolls, and this has been proven
every time they measure this with billions and billions of vote checks. And anybody here or Magic Rob, go up and find different for me on the internet. They look and they see that the amount of fraud in elections is de minimis, which is beyond a level of action. We just went through this.
Okay, let me ask a question a different way.
Chris, hang on.
Let me ask a question a different way. Let me ask a question a different way. Chris, here's a question. You and I run a nightclub.
Yes.
Okay, it's 21 and over.
Need an ID.
Why?
Because otherwise you can't tell whether they're over 21. And they're worried about the liability.
What about you can't tell whether they're American?
Show me proof.
Listen, I get the arguments.
No, Chris. This to me is more.
Yes.
No, it's common sense. It's for me to. Okay.
So why do you think that they don't do it again? Because you agree with Candace that the reason they don't require ID is because they want a lot of illegal votes and to manipulate the system. All the watchdogs from the right that follow this issue have just never been able to prove it?
Well, you're racist if you say something.
Of everything Candace said about IDs was for me to be able to get a driver's license, for me to be able to get drink, for me to be able to do this, for me to be able to do that.
I agree.
For me, it's a different reason on why you need a driver. It's for me to know who the hell you are. It's very different.
I totally get it.
I'm not interested in all that stuff that I get to do selfishly because I need the ID to do that. No. When you came in here right now, we have friends we respect a lot and we respect our guests. Did you guys all come through a metal detective? Yes or no? Do you know how many cops and sheriff are around here right now? You know how much we spend on security right now to make sure they're safe and nobody can come in here where you're safe as well? Now, we're doing our part. We invest the resources there. Sheriff is very good with us. Cops are very good with us. But did you guys come in here? Did somebody walk you through, find out, verify, checking who you are, what you're doing? We have to do that. We got to go through that process.
I totally get it.
And by the way, this is not 1/1,000,000th of as important as an election, okay?
I agree.
This is just a podcast and a conversation. So